Good morning, good morning, good morning. It's Friday. I hope you have some fun things planned for this weekend. It's supposed to be absolutely gorgeous here in Western PA. We're talking like 70s and no rain, so it should be really, 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 really nice. So I hope the weather's good for you. I have some good friends that live in Utah, and the northern part of Utah, it is snowing, and it was snowing yesterday. Southern part, not so bad, but yeah, the northern part was already getting snow, and I was like, no, I'm not ready for that. Absolutely not ready for that. Okay, let's go ahead and get on to yesterday's journal page. So yesterday we were in Psalms, and we were talking about David, and he was talking about being faithful, and how he had washed his hands in innocence. He was kind of talking more about the fact that when he knew he'd sinned, it wasn't like he was saying he never sinned, but the fact was that when he did, he stayed close to God. He made sure that he asked for forgiveness. He confessed his sin, he asked for forgiveness, and he still considered himself very close to God, because his experiences brought him closer to God. And I think that's true with a lot of us. When something major happens in our lives, we have two different ways we can handle it. We can either fall away from God or use that time to be closer to God. And it's so much better when you use that time to be closer to God, because it's going to help you in the long run how you get through it when you've got God right there on your side. I think we can pretty much all agree with that one. All right, so today's verse. Today we are in Ephesians, and let me pull up my sheet right here. So Ephesians 1:16 is today's verse. And it says, I have not stopped giving thanks to God for you. Now, when I was in college, my mom would send me cards with little notes inside. She did this my whole life, my girl's whole life. And sometimes, though, she would actually write a little letter inside. Now, this was way back in the early 80s. There weren't any cell phones. We actually talked on the phone every Wednesday night. That was the only time I got to talk to her if I didn't go home for the weekend. And it was a payphone that was down the hall. So I'd stand there beside the payphone waiting for her to call me. So every day I would go to my mailbox to see if a letter would show up from her, because I would be so excited to get a letter from home. So if we go back 2,000 years, communication was even harder then. They didn't have the mail carriers that they have now. All they had were these letters. And that's what the books of the Bible written by Paul primarily were. They were letters that he wrote to various cities that he had visited. And when the cities got these letters, they would read them aloud in their home churches, probably several times, and then they would probably copy them by somebody that could write, make various copies, and then those letters were passed on to other cities that had believers in them. So Ephesians is the only letter written by Paul that wasn't in response to a certain issue. A lot of them were written because there was a problem or something like that. But Ephesians is a book that is full of doctrine, instructions, love, and praise. So today's verse, he's saying that he has not stopped giving thanks to God for them. Paul is so thankful that he got a report that God's work was being done in the lives of the readers. And he was so comforted by this, it was a cause for celebration for him. He knew that God was working through the people in Ephesians to spread the gospel. But at the time of writing this, Paul was in prison for preaching the gospel. He could have had the attitude that God's plans aren't working. Look at me, here I am in prison. But the reports from the city told him that God's plans were working. People's lives were being transformed. They were being changed. More and more believers were coming to God. So today's verse is such a great reminder that we should celebrate the faith and the love of those that are around us who have helped encourage our walk with God. And I'll tell you what, I thank God for all of you in this group. You've helped me stay consistent in my writing in my journal. You've helped my relationship with God stay stronger and to grow even stronger. So my prayer for you is that you will feel the same way about this group, that you will be thanking God for a stronger relationship that you will begin to have as you are in His Word every day, reading the scriptures, writing about it, writing what you're thankful for, all of that. And I am looking forward to a very long relationship here in this group with all of you. I have loved being a part of it, as I told you, and I feel like a lot of you have become friends of mine that I didn't even know who you were before July. So good morning, Tiffany. How are you? I knew Tiffany before. And good morning, Melinda. Good to see you here. So let me know what this message meant to you today. How you feel about those that are in celebrating God with you, and how much that helps your relationship with God. Okay, so yesterday, I'm still going through, we'll be going through the whole month of November and on. I have the incredibly grateful, so very thankful, unbelievably blessed information that you can purchase. This is just a little booklet that I can mail out to you. It's got 50 prompts in it that ask questions that help you think about your gratitude and what you're thankful for and the blessings in your life. So today's choice was that I picked, for yesterday. I still have to do today's. I do them in the evening. It was write about something that made you smile that you know was from God. So I'm expecting my next little grandson, and he's going to be he's in less than 3 weeks. So my daughter is, she is 36 weeks pregnant, and she got another sonogram. So every time she sends me those sonograms, it brings just a huge smile to my face. Knowing that in just a few short weeks, I'm going to get to hold that little boy and see that little boy, and he is a true miracle from God, just like all children are. So that was what I gave thanks to today or yesterday for. And every day I just pick another question out of this booklet. So if you're interested in the booklet, I will post it below. I have a couple different booklets that are available that you can purchase, and I can mail those out for you. Okay? Thanks so much for joining me. I hope you have a very blessed day, and I will be on early tomorrow. I am going away for another one of my retreats for my church, and we start breakfast at 8 a.m. So I probably will go to breakfast and then come do the devotion right afterwards, and then I go to classes. So it will be early tomorrow at some point. I'm not sure what time, probably before 9 o'clock. Okay? Thank you, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.